Hello to the world of KOSMEK. Thank you very much for your today's participation in our webinar. My name is Nikolai Prüller and I will guide you through today's webinar. In the next 20 minutes, you will hear and learn about the company KOSMEK. You will see how the high-power technology is the most innovative development through the last 30 years, and you will experience the benefits of the high-power technology at our customer TCG Unitech. Some organizational points up first. You will find this presentation as a downloadable video at www.kosmek.eu soon. You can ask us questions directly via the Q&A box or the messenger from Zoom. And depending on how much questions we get, we try to answer them at the end of this session. For any other belongings, please contact us directly at kosmek@kosmek.eu. KOSMEK is the world's leading expert in powered clamping. Due to the limitation from Japanese car manufacturers to 70 bar maximum pressure 40 years ago, KOSMEK developed one of the most innovative technologies for pneumatic hydraulic work holding solutions like clamping, positioning and supporting, and also for factory automation. Since then, KOSMEK has been the continuous market leader in Asia. 8 years ago, the increasing demand on KOSMEK patented low-pressure technology brought the company to Europe. Today, KOSMEK is represented worldwide with subsidiaries and partners in every part of the world. Our service network is working across borders to support our customers independent from their location. All over Europe, more than 20 partners are here to support and service our customers. KOSMEK is the only company in the world covering all areas of a workpiece production process. We offer solutions for casting, injection molding machines, and presses like quick mold change systems, ejector rod systems, the positioning of mold and die, and the pre-rollers and die lifters for easier loading and unloading of the die. For work holding and machining, for example, with various hydraulic and pneumatic clamps, work supports, and other positioning solutions. And in terms of factory automation, we have tool changers and grippers. For all of these business areas, the high-power mechanical lock technology is available for pneumatic and hydraulic components. In the development process of KOSMEK technologies, everything revolves around reducing of the cycle times to make your process faster, to increase your overall equipment effectiveness for better utilization of your machining room, to decrease the operating costs, and to enhance your competitiveness as a customer. Some of the effects of KOSMEK low-pressure technology are that you can reduce the fixture costs to up to 25%. You're able to double the feed speed at the machining process and to double the tool diameters as well. Therefore, you're able to use 4 times faster machining on this process. Therefore, you can reduce the process steps in the whole cycle, and therefore you have less components on the fixture itself. So here you can see a schematic sketch of a pneumatic swing clamp. The main parts of a swing clamp are on the outside, the housing with the connection. In the center, the rod with the grooves for the movement in vertical and horizontal direction. The gray piston, as you can see here, is for locking and releasing of the clamp. If the pressure comes to the space above the gray piston, the clamp tends to close. If the pressure comes to the below space, it tends to release. However, physics says that the clamping force equals the piston area times the pressure. And what KOSMEK high-power technology makes a world-leading technology in the mechanical lock technology inside. As you can see, we have added a second piston, which is hollow inside with a cone shape. the steel bars which are pushed against the rod by the red piston, and an additional rod and an additional ramp on the rod. So the mechanism works as follows. You see the clamp in a released condition right now. The pressure is on the released port, the rod and the lever is up. When bringing pressure to the lock port, the pressure expands in between the gray standard piston and the red high power piston. The gray piston is moving down and starts the swing action of the clamp, while the red piston cannot move because of the steel balls. From a certain point, we call it the lock stroke, the steel bars slide into the ramp, and due to the red piston, they push down the rod and increase the clamping force by up to 3 times, and at the same time, the total mechanism is locked against opening from below. When comparing standard clamping technology with high power technology, you recognize 2 main features of the high power mechanism. Due to the additional force of the steel bars to the rod, we can increase the clamping force at the same pressure, the same size of the component by up to 3 times. For example, in pneumatic, this means to increase the clamping force from 0.36 kilonewtons up to 1.1 kilonewtons at the same footprint as the standard pneumatic clamp. Now, what's new and unique on this type of mechanism that you get a so-called holding force, which means this is the force you need to open the clamp against the lever. Because of the mechanical lock mechanism inside, you can bring up to 7 times higher forces against the clamp than before. This means if you go on a standard clamp with 0.36 kilonewtons clamping force, this is also the force which is needed to open the clamp against the lever. Now, with the mechanical lock technology, we are able to increase this force, which is needed to open the clamp by up to 7 times to 2.5 kilonewtons in total. Here you can see an animated cut view of a swing clamp. This mechanism works similar also in all of our other components for work holding, factory automation, and quick mold change systems. And this video is just a reference of the basic mechanism itself. The mechanism works as follows. You see the clamp right now in the released condition. When bringing pressure to the clamp, the pressure expands in between the green standard piston and the brown high power piston. When I supply pressure to the clamp, the green piston is moving down and starts the swing action, as we can see. Then the brown piston is moving and the steel bars are getting pushed inside the rod, and there we are generating 3 times higher clamping forces and up to 7 times higher holding forces. Now the clamp is totally locked. When using pneumatic clamps here, you get even holding force at 0 bar when you remove the total pressure supply. For the release action, when releasing, the brown piston is pushed down and the green piston moves again. So the mechanism is opened and the clamp is in released condition. So now let's have another look over the video. So we are starting in the release condition. We are bringing pressure to the piston. The green piston is moving down and swinging. The brown piston is getting pushed with the balls, and we are in the high power action and again in releasing. So in a real life situation, this can mean the following. This is an example of a worldwide leading machine tool manufacturer. They have made a test and comparison of a KOSMEK standard hydraulic clamp versus the same clamp with the high power mechanism. The first setup was our KOSMEK hydraulic swing clamp type LHA0400 with a clamping force of 2.1 kilonewtons at a pressure of 50 bar with a level length of 40 millimeters. The machining conditions were a tool diameter of 63 millimeters with a feeding speed of 600 millimeters per minute. After changing the swing clamps to the same model, but including the mechanical lock, the machining conditions were as follows. We are using our KOSMEK high power hydraulic swing clamp type LHE0400 with a clamping force of 4 kilonewtons, but with an additional holding force of 6.9 kilonewtons, which is the possible force against the lever, also at 50 bar and 40 millimeters lever length. But the main result was a doubling of the tool diameter to 125 millimeters and a double of the feed speed up to 1,200 millimeters per minute. In total, this means 4 times faster than before at the same setup, the same size of the clamps and the same machining center. And I now want to show you this in a short video. So please let me share my screen now. So here you can see the same setup as shown on the slide before. You can see a rotary table with 4 of our swing clamps and a thin workpiece which needs to be machined. The first setup again is with the standard clamps. And now I want you to listen carefully how the sound is changing when machining of this workpiece. So as you can see, after a certain point, there are happening vibrations on the workpiece. You can hear it also chattering. And as you can see here, the surface quality is not that good at all. And now we are changing to our high power setup and are going to machine this workpiece once more. And once again, I want you to listen carefully to the difference in the sound while machining. So, as you can see, the quality of the surface is much better than before. And at the sound of the video, you should have noted that there's no vibrations, no chattering inside while machining. And, and therefore, there is our high power technology from our clamps. So let me resume to our presentation. And to the main benefits of our high power technology in a nutshell. Since we are able to generate 3 times higher clamping forces and up to 7 times higher holding forces, this enables you to decrease the size of the clamps up to by 2 sizes. Enables you for smaller fixtures, more space in the machining rooms, or even smaller machining centers itself. We can generate a higher quality because of less vibrations, less distortion on the workpiece, and bending of the workpiece due to our mechanical lock. You as a customer are able to use backside machining with our clamps, which is the machining against the lever. This could save complete operations or create new clamping situations for machining. And last but not least, the cost reduction point. And as you all know, to produce 70 bar is much cheaper than to produce 200 bar on the machine. We can reduce the number of components on the fixture. And since we can reduce the components on the fixture, we have less fixture production costs and maintenance for you. To point it out again, for all these business areas, for quick molds, die change systems, work holding like clamps and work supports, and for factory automation like tool changers and grippers, This unique and worldwide patented high-power technology is available in pneumatic and hydraulic. Coming to one of our customers, TCG Unitech. TCG Unitech is a leading Austrian die casting company covering the complete process from aluminium casting through machining and assembling of total modules for leading premium car manufacturers. TCG is part of the international Nuticalo group. TCG Unitech now is using KOSMEK since 3 years. They have completely switched from high pressure fixtures up to 200 bar to KOSMEK low pressure technology with mechanical lock at 70 bars. And here you see the results. TCG was able to reduce both the maintenance costs of the machining devices and also of the hydraulic systems on the machining centers with the help of the KOSMEK low pressure technology. The reason is simple. Due to the lower hydraulic pressure required, the hydraulic unit, the lines and connections are significantly less stressed, and the quality of the components has remained the same in any comparison to other clamping elements. The compact design of KOSMEK work holding components, which depends on the application, also allows TCG Unitech to use even smaller machining centers than before, which is also a decisive reason to use KOSMEK components or KOSMEK technology. With that, I thank you very much to all for your time and participation in today's webinar regarding high power technology. It was a pleasure for me to host this webinar. Since this is done, I am already looking forward into tomorrow's webinar about the zero backlash technology from KOSMEK and in our robotic hand changers and manual hand changers. I say thank you again from all of your sides, and I wish you a nice day, and all for you, please stay safe. Bye-bye, I wish you a nice day.